Palantir just shocked Wall Street with a 283% stock surge, crushing every other S&P 500 company. That's not a typo. Palantir is outpacing tech giants and defense contractors alike. AI warfare isn't sci-fi anymore. It's where Palantir operates. They're leveraging complex algorithms for billion-dollar defense contracts, competing directly with industry stalwarts like Lockheed Martin. The next 10 minutes will reveal why this matters for your investment strategy and the future of national security. You need to understand what's happening here. Palantir's recent surge to a $150 billion market cap has left Wall Street scratching its head. How did a software company most people haven't heard of surpass Lockheed Martin? It's a wild ride from their early days as a data-crunching outfit for the CIA and Special Forces to becoming America's hottest tech stock. Wall Street completely missed this. Most analysts still have sell ratings on Palantir, struggling to comprehend how a company they dismissed is now leading the pack. But here's the kicker. Palantir isn't playing by the old defense contractor rulebook. While traditional companies are welding metal, Palantir is all about software. They're developing AI that enhances every aspect of military operations. It's a radical shift in warfare strategy, and it's paying off big time. The numbers tell the story. Palantir's revenue grew 20% year over year last quarter. They're racking up contracts, including a massive $1 billion deal with the U.S. Navy. And their commercial revenue? It's exploding. Palantir isn't just about defense anymore. Now, is Palantir really worth more than companies building physical war machines? That's what the market's saying. It's not just about current revenue, it's about potential. Palantir is positioning itself at the intersection of AI, big data, and national security. That's a sweet spot that could be worth trillions in the coming decades. The market finally woke up to the power of AI in warfare and business. Palantir isn't just another tech company. They're building software that could decide the future of global power. And investors are betting big that they'll succeed. But Palantir's impact goes beyond Wall Street. They're reshaping the very nature of warfare. And that's where things get really interesting. Imagine smart wars. Palantir's AI is turning science fiction into military reality, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. Our enemies are racing to catch up in this invisible arms race where the stakes are sky high. Algorithms are becoming the ultimate weapons. The U.S. military's new secret weapon is software, and it's revolutionizing warfare. It's not about who has the biggest guns anymore. AI warfare is all about making the best decisions at superhuman speed. Palantir's AI is like a supercharged brain for military leaders, crunching massive amounts of data from satellites, drones, and intelligence reports in seconds. Commanders get a crystal clear picture of the battlefield, making life-or-death decisions with unprecedented accuracy. Take Ukraine, for example. Palantir's software is defending against Russian aggression by analyzing satellite and drone imagery to spot threats before they become attacks. It's like having thousands of tireless analysts working 24/7, catching every detail. But Palantir isn't just playing defense. Their AI is transforming how we plan and execute military operations, running thousands of battle simulations in minutes, testing every scenario before risking a single soldier's life. That's the kind of capability we're talking about. Here's what keeps military brass up at night. Our adversaries are pouring billions into AI too. China, Russia, Iran, they all see where this is going. The next major conflict won't be decided by tank count, but by algorithm quality. So what's the endgame? Palantir is fundamentally changing how wars are fought and won. We're heading towards a future where AI could predict conflicts before they start, where cyber attacks outweigh bombs, and where the line between peace and war blurs. And Palantir isn't just impressing generals with fancy presentations. They're winning massive real-world contracts that are reshaping the entire defense industry. That's where things get really interesting. Palantir just landed a whopping $920 million contract with the Naval Information Warfare Center. That's serious cash, and it's got the entire defense industry buzzing. Why? Because Palantir's approach is completely different from what we've seen before. Traditional defense contractors build tanks and planes. Palantir? They're all about data, AI, and lightning-fast decision-making. Their software takes in massive amounts of information from satellites, drones, and intelligence reports. Then it processes all that data in seconds, giving military leaders a clear picture of what's happening on the battlefield. We're talking about making critical decisions with superhuman speed and accuracy. This isn't just some experimental tech either. Special forces and intelligence agencies have been using Palantir's software for years. Navy SEALs planning high-stakes missions, CIA analysts connecting the dots on global threats. Palantir's AI is giving them an edge that could mean the difference between success and failure. Here's what's got everyone on edge. If Palantir can land a billion-dollar Navy contract, what's next? The Army? The Air Force? We could be looking at a complete overhaul of how the military operates, and it's all being driven by a company that most people have never even heard of. But Palantir isn't stopping at defense. They're taking their battle-tested tech and applying it to the business world. And that's where things get really interesting. Imagine the same software that's predicting battlefield outcomes being used to revolutionize industries like healthcare, finance, and energy. The possibilities are mind-boggling. Palantir's journey from government spycraft to boardroom strategy is turning heads. They've taken their experience handling complex, sensitive data for intelligence agencies and applied it to big business problems. It's a bold move that's paying off. Many thought Palantir would stumble in the corporate world. Too secretive, too specialized, they said. Those skeptics are eating their words now. Palantir's thriving by adapting their powerful government tech for boardrooms and factory floors. Their software is like a supercharged brain for businesses. It devours massive amounts of data from every corner of a company, crunches it in seconds, and spits out insights that can save millions or create new billion-dollar opportunities. The numbers are staggering. Palantir just hit a huge milestone. 104 deals worth over $1 million each in the last quarter alone. That's not companies dipping their toes in the water. That's a tidal wave of adoption. Palantir's integrating their tech into major cloud platforms like Amazon and Microsoft. They're becoming part of the digital infrastructure that powers global business. It's clear they're positioning themselves as the go-to AI powerhouse for any company that wants to turn its data into a competitive advantage. But Palantir's meteoric rise isn't all smooth sailing. With great power comes great scrutiny, and this company's success is stirring up some serious controversy. Palantir's data crunching capabilities have sparked intense debate about privacy and ethics in the AI age. Critics worry that the company's tech could enable unprecedented levels of surveillance, especially given its ties to intelligence agencies. It's not just tinfoil hat territory. Some of these concerns are pretty legit. Here's where things get complicated. Palantir insists they're the good guys. They claim they don't touch personal data, just provide software for clients to manage their own information. But that hasn't silenced the skeptics. People are asking tough questions about how this technology could be used, especially by governments with access to such powerful tools. But Palantir isn't backing down. They're actually leaning into the ethics debate, positioning themselves as champions of AI safety for the free world. That's a bold claim, and it's got people wondering, can we really trust a private company with that much influence over our digital lives? Palantir CEO Alex Karp isn't your typical Silicon Valley exec. He's got a philosophy background and isn't afraid to dive into ethical discussions. But is intellectual firepower enough to address the real-world implications of Palantir's tech? The debate isn't going away anytime soon. We're seeing calls for more transparency, stricter regulations, and clearer guidelines on AI use in sensitive areas. But despite all the controversy, Palantir keeps growing. Their stock is soaring and they're landing bigger contracts than ever. So what's next for this data giant? And more importantly, what does their rise mean for our privacy and civil liberties as AI becomes more powerful? Palantir's CEO Alexander Karp is making waves with his bold claim that the company is responsible for AI safety for the free world. It's a statement that's got everyone talking, especially as Palantir makes moves that could cement its place among tech royalty. But are they building an AI empire or writing checks their algorithm can't cash? Let's break it down. Palantir is framing itself as the guardian of responsible AI development, a smart play when everyone's freaking out about AI taking over the world. But here's the kicker. Their valuation is through the roof. We're talking a forward earnings multiple of over 130 times, with most analysts scratching their heads. The average target price is less than half of where the stock's trading. Are investors caught up in AI hype, or does Palantir know something Wall Street doesn't? Palantir isn't slowing down. They just had their first developer conference, dropping new features left and right. They're pushing hard into the commercial sector, trying to prove they're more than just a government contractor. But they're facing some serious headwinds. Competition in the AI space is heating up, and regulators are starting to ask some uncomfortable questions. You know what's really interesting? Palantir just announced they're moving from the NYSE to NASDAQ. If they make it into the NASDAQ 100 index, we could see a flood of buying from index funds. It's a power move that could reshape Palantir's future, but with a price-to-sales ratio over 50, they need to keep growing like crazy to justify that valuation. Here's the question. Is Palantir the next tech giant, or are we watching a bubble ready to pop? If they can deliver on their AI promises and keep landing those billion-dollar contracts, we might be witnessing the birth of a new tech superpower. But if they stumble, that sky-high valuation could come crashing down hard. The next few years will be make or break for Palantir. Palantir's rise represents a new era where Silicon Valley's innovation meets the Pentagon's power, fundamentally changing the landscape of warfare and global influence. AI-powered defense tech is redefining national security, shifting the focus from traditional military assets to advanced algorithms. This transformation puts Palantir at the forefront of a critical shift in how nations approach conflict and defense. The big question looming over Palantir is whether it can deliver on its lofty promises. With sky-high stock prices and bold claims about safeguarding AI for the free world, the company faces immense pressure. The next decade will be crucial. If Palantir succeeds, we could be witnessing the birth of a tech giant that reshapes global power dynamics. If not, it could lead to a significant market correction and disappointed investors. Palantir's journey is intricately tied to some of the most pressing issues of our time. The company sits at the intersection of privacy concerns, AI ethics, and the evolution of modern warfare. Its trajectory will likely influence debates and policies in these critical areas for years to come. As Palantir continues to grow and evolve, its impact on technology, defense, and global affairs will be profound and far-reaching.